guys. Welcome to another interview. So today we've got a very special guest, somebody that's done a lot in his life, and it's actually very, very commendable. And so this is Dane Mulivai,
Yes,
and
how are you?
so Dane, we're going to be talking to Dane, but before we get into it, I just want to let everyone know that, so the whole point of the chaos interviews is to let people know that, we've made mistakes in our lives, and so, we've hoping that with our experiences that you can learn something off us. And so Dane's got a pretty amazing story. And so, speaking to Dane previously before we started the interview and on the phone, some of the accomplishments, what this man has done in his life. And I just want to say, from father to father, bro, watching you, I do social media and obviously TikTok and stuff as well. And I see the stuff what you do there on there with your family. And that right there, my friend, is something that's very close to my heart, and I know it is with you. And I just want to say, father to father, bro, it's very respectful what you're doing right now. And yeah, um,
Thank you very
introduce
much, man. Thank you,
introduce yourself, brother.
man. My name is Dane Mulivai. I'm Australian born. Samoan. My dad's Samoan. My mom is Australian. Um, and I'm 41 years old. Alhamdulillah, blessed.
I'm 42, bro. You're looking well for your age, brother. You are looking well for your age. And so I will say to you, I have done a lot of time with the brothers. So I will say salam alaikum.
Oh,
And
walaikum salam.
yeah, so I can also speak a little bit of Arabic, but that's probably for another time.
Yeah, no, that's no problem at all, man.
But
Well,
yeah,
I appreciate the salams.
no worries, bro. And I know, you know, the you being a Muslim, and like me saying that to you, I know how much it means to you when you get the salam. And I know that, yeah, I know how much that means to you when people know, the basis around your religion. And so I know that's very important. All right. So, but yeah, bro, tell us a little bit about yourself, mate. Yeah, what was childhood like for Dane?
For Dane, it was very tough. It was very hard. Um, the trenches, always in the trenches growing up, of course.
Yep.
But without the trenches, Dane wouldn't be Dane who I am today. So
Yep.
there was obviously a lot of good times and bad times, of course. And when I say bad times, I'm talking more from a discipline side of things. But now that I'm a father myself, I can understand
Yep.
and how my dad was, and so on. So I'm very grateful and thankful for how my dad raised me, man, because I was able to survive a lot of things that that a lot of people wouldn't be able to survive mentally,
Yep.
both mentally and physically.
Yep.
Um, but I can say that I learned a lot. As I said before, I didn't understand until you're a father yourself. Then you understand the angle, the
Correct.
the way that we were raised, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So like I said, man, I'm very thankful for my dad, man. Man, rest
Yep.
in peace to my dad.
Yep. Well, rest in peace to your dad. And I can tell, and also talking to you earlier, it's something that you hold very close to your heart. And I understand it on a level that, sometimes the things that happen in our life, although they happen, and they are sometimes horrible, that they made us who we are. And I know that's exactly how you see it. And so, you talk about the trenches, and being tough in the trenches. So what neighborhood what was your neighborhood like growing up? You know, you talk about the trenches and, you know,
Yeah.
myself knowing. So what was that like growing up? What neighborhood were you growing up in and what was that like?
So I was born here in Australia, 1984. I was born in 1984,
Yep.
and then from Australia we went to New Zealand. Um, and those who know South Auckland, you know, I was raised up in Mangere, Mangere, like for I'll say it properly
Yep.
just in case it
Yep.
upsets a few Maoris and stuff like that. Mangere.
Yep. Yep. I know of
um,
South Auckland and yep.
yeah. So, you know, growing up then, it was kind of in an era where you had to be tough to survive.
Yep.
You know, you basically had no choice. It was really no choice. You're either gonna, you know, stand up and handle, or go sit in the corner. You know.
Yep.
So growing up there, I grew up in New Zealand. I went to school in New Zealand for a bit, and then I came back to Australia. Um, and then in Brisbane, then I moved to Sydney. So I basically, man, I was born in Sydney, went to New
Yep.
Zealand, come to
Yep.
Brisbane, went back to Sydney, and then I'm back
Bloody
in Brisbane.
but bloody hell. Yep. Oh well, I think that's where you're supposed to be. But do you think that
Yeah,
like, you know, the South Auckland growing up, you know, that's something what like I guess I didn't understand it until my prison time and the boys telling me about growing up in South Auckland and it's something that, you know, people probably couldn't understand at a level over here in Australia because it is a lot different and you know, I know that, you know, respectfully that a lot of the neighbors, the neighborhoods there, unfortunately, don't get the attention that they need, and you know, unfortunately, the families are growing up in environments that, you know, respectfully, but do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
and it's hard to bring up. You know, I've grew up in housing commission areas, you know,
yeah,
my whole life too, and so like I know what it's like, and having children myself, and trying to bring children up in those areas, like it's hard, and like South Auckland is rough, isn't it, bro?
yeah, man. It's rough. And when you grow up and you don't have anything, you appreciate everything that you have when you get older,
Yes, yep,
which is something that children don't quite understand today. Today's day and age, right? This generation will never understand the level of struggle that it was back in the day. You know, having no food. Sometimes there's food, sometimes there's no food. You know,
yep,
and then like. Look, I don't want to, I honestly don't want to like say things to upset anybody, man. So what I'm talking about is I'm talking about myself and how I got through
yep,
the whole environment of it was rough and tough in that, but how we were raised, we were still raised with respect.
yep,
So like it was super important. There was no talking back to our parents.
yep,
It was one word, and it was
yep,
obviously religion, like you know, church back then.
yep,
And what I see, that's the difference between back then and today. Today, with the generation today, there's so much that they can get away with because the government and today's society allows, you know,
too much,
too
too
much, you
much,
know, and it gives them too much. And then, you
yeah,
know, you see these children that are disrespectful to their parents at the shops. And I sit there and my ears, my antennas go up, man. And when I hear it, I'm like, man, shucks, man, you're lucky, man. Like,
yeah, yep,
you know,
yeah,
um,
100%, bro. I see it all the time.
and like from New Zealand, I came to Australia. When I came to Australia, I went to a place called. I moved here to Brisbane, but then from Brisbane, I did the rest of my high school down in Sydney.
Yep,
I went to a place, and that place is called Miller. Now, Miller is a suburb that's in Liverpool, so it's Miller
yep,
and Cartwright. That's the ghetto. That was ghetto
yep,
back then.
yep, yep. I know of the area. Yep,
Yeah, so I kind of like it was like I went from Mangere to here to Brisbane, but then that's down to Miller. So I walked straight. It was like I went back home. Like
yeah, yep.
so, I
It
feel.
felt comfortable.
Yeah, I felt so comfortable. Like, and I
Yep,
seen so many. This was the only difference between like New Zealand and Australia was that in New Zealand, it's all islanders,
Yep.
all brown, you know? And then when I
Yep.
came here, when I went to Sydney, it was,
Multicultural.
man, I seen like the Lebanese for the first time. I seen their Syrians for the first time. I'm like, man, like, what are these people? Like, that was my first thought, you know?
Yep. Yep.
And then when I grew up with them, hanging around with them and understanding them more, I kind of realized like, man, these people are just the same as us.
Yeah, 100%.
They have the same morals, they have the same respect to their parents, and I
Yep.
was just like, man, this is it. What's rough from what's rough to the normal person was normal, is normal for the people who are inside that environment.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Yeah, so it was kind of like I felt like I was at home, man. It was fine.
Yep. Yep. So like obviously growing up in, around the Liverpool area
Yep.
and like you said, it did have the name back then as the ghetto and
Yeah, man.
and and was so is that for you like what was the turning point? What's your earliest memory of like all right, here I am, I what was the step for you that made you go, all right, I'm going to go an extra step. You've come into like different cultures and different environment, but it was still so much the same. But what was the turning point in that for you?
It was just still trying to be the alpha male,
Yep,
and because I was in a new environment where there's a lot of hard people, a lot of tough guys around too. I
yep,
wanted to be the one, and so
yeah,
like it was, which that was the downfall for me. Not only the turning, I wouldn't say the turning point, but that was the downfall for me, which then, from that, it led me to, obviously serve time. And
yep.
then, once, can I continue on with the turning point when I
A
go
hundred,
inside? Because I want to
yeah,
flow on that combo way.
bro, just
Is
go,
that
bro.
okay? Okay.
100%, bro. We are here to hear your story, brother. You go.
Oh, okay. So when I, this whole wanting to prove myself, um, and be the top dog or whatever, I ended up inside, and then towards the end of my sentence, I'm not going to go into like how long, what I was in for, blah blah blah.
Yep,
But towards the end of my sentence, that was my turning point. There was because I realized like, man, I'm looking around at everybody else, and I'm thinking to myself, man, I don't belong in here, man. Like,
that's not me.
nah, this is not me, man. Like,
Yeah,
and let me just be clear, man. I'm not proud of, what I went in for, but it wasn't petty. It wasn't petty. There's no such thing as petty crimes or anything like that.
yep,
Um, but the turning point was when I was in there and I seen that, and I didn't want to have that life because I saw a lot of older guys in there too.
yeah, yep,
And I could only imagine, or not imagine, I used to hear these guys talk on the phone to their families. And I was like, man, I don't want to be doing that. Like, lucky at that
yeah,
time, I had no responsibilities. The only
yep.
thing that the only thing that I did have was my dad. I didn't have any of my mates come and visit me. I had no mates send me money orders. I had nothing. It was just
Yeah,
my
very,
dad.
very common occurrence when you get locked up, mind you.
Yeah, of course it is, and it's
Your
why I
mates
know it
all
now.
scarper. Yeah,
Yeah, like Houdini, mate. Like,
yeah,
you're out
they
of
do
there.
the disappearing act. But your dad, bro, let's
My
hear about
dad,
it, cause
yeah.
yeah,
So my dad came when I first was in there, man. I refused to visit. I didn't want to see my dad. I did
oh,
not want to see my dad. Nah, I didn't want to see him.
embarrassed,
Yeah, I
embarrassed.
was I was super embarrassed, super
Yeah,
embarrassed. Even though I was young, I still had because growing up, it was all
yeah,
about respect. It was all about
respect, bro.
respect and respect.
That's right. That just proves respect, brother. That's exactly
Yeah,
what that is. You know what I mean? If you didn't have any, you wouldn't be ashamed.
yeah, man. And I refused to visit twice. I
Yep,
refused to visit twice. And then when I eventually I got on the phone and I rang home and I spoke to my dad and he was asking me, why you keep saying no to the visit? And I was like, oh, you know what, Dad? I'll see you this weekend. And then when my dad came to see me, it was it was one of those moments where like I put my head down. I couldn't even look at him.
Yep. Yep.
It was too hard. I just couldn't look at my dad. I felt so embarrassed. I thought like it just hit my heart so bad, eh?
Yep.
And
Yep.
no matter no matter how
100%.
much of no matter how much of a hard, tough guy I was and good fighter I was back in the day, all that had just disappeared, and my head was just I was just hanging my head in shame.
Yep.
Like it was so bad, and then it took about every time this pops up, man, it always hits my heart, eh?
Oi, bro, and respectfully, brother, there is no like, just don't feel any pressure here, bro. Like your emotion
No, no,
here,
no,
this is
no,
what.
no,
Do you
no
know what I
pressure.
mean? Like,
Yeah, it's all
brother,
good.
you know what I mean. Like I said, I don't want to, but you know what I mean. You just
No, no,
continue
no, no.
on, bro.
It's all good. Because I want people to see and understand, like now my age now, but back then when I see my dad, I broke down, I started crying, and I couldn't talk. I couldn't talk for about like 20 half an hour. I couldn't talk. I still couldn't
Yep.
look at my dad. I was just looking down, like then my dad's talking to me, and I'm just answering, but I still couldn't look at my dad. Finally, I look at my dad, and then I give him a hug, and then he just tells me, he's talking some more to me and telling me, you'll be fine. Just keep your head down and do what you have to do, man. Like, and so on. So my dad was still just giving me advice because he
Yep.
knew what I was capable of because of the way I was, like,
Yeah. Yep.
outside. So
Yep.
he knew I was going to be fine inside.
Yep.
But he didn't say he was disappointed at me, like for being in there, but I knew.
Yep. You could feel it.
Yeah, I knew straight away. I
Yeah.
knew when I was sitting in the watch house. I knew, like, I was
Yep.
like,
Yep.
oh man, I've just let my
Yep.
dad down, man.
Yep.
I didn't care about anybody else at that time. The whole point of me trying to prove myself to all these people, all these other tough guys, that just went out the window because then now I'm sitting in the holding cell, disappointed that I knew that I've embarrassed
Yep.
my family name, I've embarrassed my dad,
Yep.
um,
The
and
the reputation means nothing, like, to the family name. Do you know?
absolutely
Uh,
zero, zero.
yeah,
Throw that out the
yeah,
window, put it in the
yeah,
trash. It
yeah,
didn't matter. Did not
yep,
matter. And from that moment, obviously, I spent a few years inside. And then my dad he was a regular, come and see me, and then my spirits lifting up and all that kind of stuff.
yep.
Um, and this was the first time out of all my life that I heard my dad say he loved me, right?
Oh wow, yep.
Yeah. So I'm
Well,
getting,
fuck,
I'm
that's
getting,
deep, deep, bro. That's fucking
yeah, like,
that got me.
so inside, I got involved in politics, all the jail politics, all
Y-
that trash, all,
Yeah,
all that stuff that you're not supposed to, but man,
yeah.
I
It's just
was
too
like,
easy to fall into.
yeah, it was just something I did, man. And look,
Yep,
not to veer off from what the point of my thing is, what I'm trying to say is when I called my dad to tell him that I was on my way to Goulburn, I was on my way to Goulburn, right? And I called my dad when the truck came, they called my name, they said I'm on escort. That was the first time that I heard my dad say he loved me.
yep. Wow.
And like it was like because you hear stories, you hear everything of this jail is like it's bad jail, it's the killing fields.
Yes.
But
Yep.
when I heard it over the phone, I just went silent. I don't know what to say.
Yep.
I did not know what to say. Honestly, hey, I didn't know what to say, man. And my dad goes, "Son, you there?" I said, "Yeah, no." Like I was honestly like,
Yep. Really taken back.
yeah, like because I had never ever heard my dad say that to me.
Yeah.
From
Fuck. That's
growing up
deep.
till now, yeah, I never heard that ever, man.
Yep.
So I knew even then from that phone call, um, like
That changed
I,
everything.
yeah, it changed everything, but it also put everything into perspective for me in the sense that I really then understood just how much of a disappointment I was.
Yep.
Because when my dad said that to me, like, I've really hit the low here, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
And then before I got out, I had, I had manifested and I had trained. I put my head down. I trained the house down, man. You
Yep.
trust me, I trained the house down. Um, and I manifested in my own mind that I was gonna be a champion, man. I had it in my head, man. And I knew this was a way for me to lift my dad's name back up.
Yep. Yep. Wow, bro. This is deep as,
Yeah, like,
bro. Everything, bro. It's like like fucking deep, bro.
hey, ah.
Bro,
So
listen. Just continue, bro. And there's no, there is just whatever goes, brother. And like, but let's just let me say, fucking very heartwarming, and I can see how much this actually means to you, bro. And there's no judgment here at all, brother. No judgment, bro.
um,
You take your time.
so I always had this thought in my mind was like, how can I, how can I lift my dad's name back up, right? And then when I got out, went straight to a boxing gym
Yep,
because I had the hands. I was good with my hands.
yep, yep,
And there's no crap. I'm not even talking myself up here. Like, let's not get that twisted, anyone, please. Like, I was good with my hands. I was talented. I was gifted. Sorry, I was gifted.
yep, yep.
And
Y- You definitely were, my friend.
yeah, I was gifted, which helped me get through what I got through, both on the street and inside.
Yep.
And then I was able to come out, and then, you know, obviously the rest is history, eh? Like, I went and disappointed my dad to having having my dad's name written in the history book.
All
Really,
right.
like it's written there, man. Like,
Let's get into that. Let's get into that. All right. So Dane's got a boxing career that is actually, it is fucking insane, right? So Dane, let's just do a quick run through and then we'll let Dane have a chat about it. So he just said, right, when he was in prison, he 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 manifested what he wanted, and he wanted to bring his father's name back to the light. So let me just run through a couple of things that I've put down about young Dane here, right? So we're talking about a champion professional boxer, okay? So 12 bouts, right? 12 bouts, 57 rounds, has a 100% KO record. Now, if you dive in the history books and see how many fighters have got that next to their name, you'll be friggin' finding it hard to find any. So from 2011 to 2020, Dane absolutely shocked the fucking world with boxing and fought some of the biggest names. And I'm going to reel them off here.
yeah,
Marlon
man.
Tope and one in pride, every one of these names, mind you. Marlon Toby, Shane Parry, um, New Payak, War Wale, Joel
Haldane champ,
Casey, yep,
Australian champ. He was
Australian
Australian
champ,
champ. Yeah.
Sean McKean.
Um, he's just a fighter. He was just a fighter.
Yep. And so, like just and also, mind you, Commonwealth Games, boxing. So let's dive into that because I know
Yeah,
that
man.
that's something you're very passionate about. I love the boxing myself, and you have what they say, the tail of the tape in the boxing world that is fucking insane, bro. So let's hear about your boxing, brother.
Like I don't want you to downplay me, man, because it wasn't just boxing, man. I destroyed it in kickboxing, MMA.
Yes, yep,
Um, You
You did,
know,
bro. Yep.
I just wanted to throw that in
So
there.
sorry, sorry, I was gonna lead into it. So, but yeah, kickboxing. So 100%. So kickboxing, um, and also now, so 41 years old, bare knuckle boxing. So like, sorry, bro. I will let
Okay,
you talk. I
we'll
will
go
let.
to the Commonwealth. We'll go to the Commonwealth. Okay.
All right. So Commonwealth Games, bro. That's a
Yeah.
fucking massive achievement, my bro.
Thank you, man. That was the 2010 was the biggest year of my life. The biggest year.
Yep.
One, my son was born. Two, I got married. And three, I represented Australia at the Commonwealth Games. 2010 was huge. Was huge.
Yep. Massive.
Um, yeah, and then that's that time when I made the team. The first person I called was my dad. I didn't call my wife. I didn't call, my coach. I didn't call anybody else. I called my dad just to
Yeah,
tell him
mad.
I made it, you know.
Yep.
And the flight from Perth back home, you know, it's a 5 hour flight, 6 hour flight from Perth to Brisbane, right? But man, because I was the only Queenslander that won, man, that's why I felt like half an hour, man. Like I was
Yeah.
over the moon. I could not wait to get back home. I was so
That
excited, man.
yeah, that's cool, bro.
Yeah,
And you
like
and your dad would have been so friggin' proud, brother.
yeah, man. And I knew then I had rewritten everything I corrected the wrong. Um, and now, like I said, my dad's name, it's my dad's name. My last name, Mulivai, is my dad's name. It's not my
Yep.
name, it's my dad's name. So
Yep.
me going to jail, I embarrassed my dad's name. And then when I made the Australian team, man,
Rectified.
my dad was smiling all year. Like
Yeah,
he
couldn't
was
make
so
him happier.
happy. Yeah,
Bro, that's a massive achievement, bro. You would have made him so proud.
yeah, bro, honestly, like my dad's a hard man. Like he's a hard man.
Yep.
He was a hard man. And like, man, it was just a proud moment for me.
Of course, bro. It's
It
a
was, man,
massive, massive moment, bro.
it was. I can't
And like
explain
you
it to
said,
you,
bro,
man.
it's etched in the history books forever, bro. That's not going anywhere, bro. And like you just said, bro, you can tell when you can, bro. It oozes out of you the love that you have for your father, and I think like myself coming from someone with a fucking hard father too,
Yeah,
like, and it's hard to talk on these things, bro. And I know that, and like. But just know this, brother. Like it is very, very, very obvious how proud you are of your father, and how proud that your father was of you by the way that you tell your story about your father, bro. And that's very important. Like you can tell that you are such a family motivated man, and that's like very important. Um, which is probably, like there's so much we can talk about with y- the boxing and stuff. If you want to dive into that, we can definitely dive into that. Like you said, there's kickboxing,
yeah,
and you're doing things now. You're 41 years old. um I don't know if you guys know, but we've just been allowed to do bare knuckle fights in the country, which is like, let me tell you something. When you think about the hardest of martial arts, bare knuckle boxing is the gladiators of the sport, and that's how I see it. I'd done a little bit of martial arts as a youngster myself, and the bare knuckle, I see it like it's like a gladiator ring, bro. And you're 41 years old, and um, you've got a bout coming up. Are we allowed to talk about that?
yeah. Yes and no. Uh, yeah, I got a phone call over the weekend.
Yep,
Asking me if I was, if I was interested. And I've said this on a video that I posted on TikTok where my wife is always like, don't answer that. Like, if a promoter or like an organization calls, because
yep.
she knows what I'm like. She knows, man, like I'll jump to the opportunity,
100%. It's like backing
Yeah,
down if you don't take the offer. You've got to take them up on the offer.
yeah. And it's not, it's, Like it's it's something I've done for a very long time, competing.
Yep.
I'm a competitive person, man, and like I always like to prove people wrong. Even myself, I compete with myself every day. Like I train every day. Obviously I have to remain in good shape just to train my son, man. Like,
Yep.
I will go
Yep.
into that later.
Yep.
But with this bare knuckle fight, yeah, I got a phone call asking if I was interested. I said, yeah, no problem, man. And then there's something else that's gonna be coming out after, but I can't talk about that. However, once the contract comes through and signed, I'm sure they're
y-
gonna put a poster up, man, and
Yep.
all the fun
So
stuff.
obviously what Dane's talking about is like at the moment he can't announce who his opponent is or whatnot, because the contracts aren't there,
Yeah.
but Dane has signed his contract, and so when can we expect to because like this is something I'm absolutely fascinated in, and I'm so glad that we were able to get it going in our country. um, when can we expect to see you on that stage, do you think?
So the fight is January 24th next year.
Yep.
And yeah, of course I can't mention anything yet because it hasn't been finalized. Which obviously people would understand due to
Absolutely, bro.
you know. Um,
Yep.
but just so everybody knows, like yeah, like these hands still got a couple more rounds in them. Like,
Oh, well, I'll tell you something. You can finish this statement. So I read a news article about you today. It said,
yeah.
if anyone catches these hands,
Oh, they're going to
like,
sleep, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so
left or right hand, don't matter.
and
Um,
you're like I said, the tale of the tape speaks for itself, bro. But you've got multiple martial arts that you threw yourself right into,
yeah,
and fought all around the world. Like, let's not get
yeah.
it twisted here. Like this guy is a world renowned fighter, and not only that, he literally made it to the top in boxing. He was like, and moved on to the next thing, was kicking ass there, and then literally was like, all right, what's the next thing that I can do in this? Because what I see, Dane, is it's very important for you to set an example for your children, and leave that and like your name for your children, and also your father's legacy, and you can see how proud you are in wanting to do this. And like I think people need to take on board, it's not very common for a 41-year-old man to be doing this stuff, and like it's just it's a testament to you, my brother. Like it's like insane.
I'm a lunatic. I'm crazy.
Yeah, but you are, bro.
No,
Definitely are.
but
Like
to
with these, mate, you are handy.
so in boxing, I got to a stage in my career where it was difficult for me to get fights. It was hard, man. Uh, and there's many reasons as to why that was the case. But people who know the industry. So I was just training, waiting for fights that really wasn't there for me.
Yeah.
So what happened was that's the reason why I stepped into kickboxing. I banged on YouTube. I was watching YouTube. I was like, oh, that's how you do a spinning kick. This is how you do this kick. So I was just learning on YouTube. And then
Whoa, where?
next thing you know, right? I had a couple of kickboxing fights. I win by knockout. And then I'm fighting in an 8-man tournament, like world champions. There's 7 world champions. And
Wow,
I was the only guy that had like 2 or 3 kickboxing fights. And I fought the best kickboxers there, the world.
that's mad,
Um,
bro.
yeah, so
And
I beat
self-taught is
self-taught. Yeah,
crazy.
man. Yeah,
Yep.
I was watching YouTube, man. It was all on YouTube, and I beat the Croatian world champion, and then I went on and I fought a guy named Michael Badado. Those who know kickboxing know that Michael Badado is the real deal. Like this guy is like maybe 6-time world champion.
Yep.
He's a machine. And
Yep. Yep.
we fought, and you know what, man, this fight would go down in history as one of the best fights um in the A1 tournament because man, I got dropped, and then I dropped him. I got dropped. I dropped him. So it was like it was a back and forth war, man, between Michael
Wow.
Badado. It was
Yep.
tough, man. And
Yep.
then
And it's a continual thing, isn't it? You move on to your next opponent within the A1,
in
isn't it? It's
in the same night. So you
yeah.
literally have like I think maybe 20 minute rest.
Yep.
So, you try and not take as much damage as possible, like in your fights. And then after the Badado fight, so with the Michael Badado fight, there was confusion. There was confusion here. I should have progressed to the final because I put Michael down twice in an 8-man tournament in K1 or A1 rules. If you get 2 8 counts in the one round, you lose.
Yep. Yep.
And then I did that. I did that. And then, the fight had continued and then I lost. But I should have progressed to the final. Now,
Yeah.
what
Yep.
had- what had happened was months went past and I had been, I was quite vocal about that because, I was going to make the final in the eight
Uh,
man. And
of course. Yeah.
yeah, I'm literally a novice. I'm literally a novice in the kickboxing game. And anyway, I was a bit vocal. I was vocal on that, and then the promoter Tarek Solak, rest in peace to Tarek, man. He calls me up and says to me, "Okay, Dane, you want to have a shot at the world title?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely." Like, and here I am, like I've just had 4 or 5 fights in kickboxing, talking my game up
Yep.
like I'm an expert in kickboxing now, right?
That's
So
insane.
Tarek gives me a shot at the title, and I end up fighting a guy named Vedat H. Now everybody asks me all the time, like, "Dave, who is your toughest opponent? Who's your toughest opponent?"
Well, I
And
was gonna ask that.
yeah,
Yep.
man, Vedat H. He was from Turkey. He was
Yep.
this young kid from Turkey, right? He was here in Australia. He knocked out everybody. He knocked out everyone, man. But I was the only guy that we went 5 rounds. It was a 5 round war against Vedat H.
Yep.
Um, and I lost the fight. It happens, man. I got beaten. It was just relentless, man. This guy was just non-stop. But I met him halfway, man. And
Yep.
we banged it out. We banged it out, man. So
You
five
went
round
all the way.
decision. Went all the way, man. Went all the
Yep.
way. Um,
That's massive.
but he was the toughest fight that I had in my whole career, man. Was Vedat H. Michael Badada was also one, but Vedat H would have to be because we went all 5 rounds. But
Yep.
I was glad that I had the opportunity of fighting for the A1 world title. It's prestige too, like it's the real
Th-
deal, you know.
that's the top, mate. That's the top.
Yeah,
That's there's no higher than that really in that
and and
game.
and like people in the Australian kickboxing scene would laugh about it, like, oh yeah, Dane can't take kicks, Dane can't do this. Man, Dane's a boxer. Like,
Yeah. Bro, and you came into the kickboxing world and had a shot at the world title.
yeah, but I no no, I came into the kickboxing world to an 8-man tournament against 7 world champions. Obviously, I
Yep.
didn't progress to the final, but I ended up fighting for a world title by watching YouTube. I
Yep.
studied and I watched YouTube, and I
That's
just trained off.
insane.
Yeah, man, I did that. That's what I did. So,
Bro,
and then
I would say you're relentless, bro. Like that is like that is determination, bro.
because I wanted to I wanted to achieve the same as like obviously Mark Hunt, like he's Samoan and he
Y-
won, he won the Grand Prix, he won that. I was
Yep.
like, man, like,
Yep.
man, that's what I want to be like, Ray Sefo and all the boys, like the older generation, and
Yep.
these boys, they're from Mangere as well, like back in New Zealand and stuff.
Yeah, yep. Yep.
So I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted my name to be there,
Yeah, yep.
anyway, but unfortunately, I didn't get the world championship there. And then from there, I went and studied jiu-jitsu
Yep.
because like I said, like I'm a man, like,
You're a
I'm wanting to,
sponge.
yeah,
You
man,
just
like, I just
take
want to
everything
learn.
in.
I want to
Yep.
learn, hey?
Yep. I'm exactly the same. I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Yep.
I want to learn. So I ended up doing jiu-jitsu. I did jujitsu, man, and I was training with one of my usos, man, Junior Tongia, rest in peace to Junior, man. He trained me, man, and he took me to Shannon Landy. I was training under black belt was at the time was Neil Owen, and man, it was non-stop training, like morning, nighttime, morning, nighttime, morning, nighttime, and then
Yep.
after I jumped into a MMA contest, a modified MMA contest called Combat 8. And then Combat 8, I won by knockout. My first fight, I won by knockout. And then the second fight, I fought for the Combat 8 World Championship. And this guy that I fought against, he was a kickboxer. He was a world champion kickboxer, but I submitted him.
Oh
I
yeah,
submitted him
nice.
in like 30 seconds. Like I won 30 seconds, man.
Nice,
And
bro.
then I received my blue belt. I got my blue belt. Um, and
Bro,
then
that's massive, bro.
yeah, 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 yeah. Like a lot of people don't know this. Like, there's no footage of it, but those who were watching it, they know. I won that fight in under 30 seconds, man. And I won
Bro,
by guillotine.
that's insane, bro. Fuck, that's like you said, that's information that you can't know, so people wouldn't know that,
Yeah,
bro. That is fucking insane, bro. Like
yeah,
you are literally a quick study too, bro. Obviously a quick learner, you know what I mean?
yeah.
All right, so blue belt,
I got my
jiu-jitsu.
blue belt in jiu-jitsu, yeah. And then I ended up fighting. No, I've jumped the gun here. Sorry, I jumped the gun. I jumped the gun.
That's all
So,
good, bro.
so before Combat 8, I was fighting in XFC. I had one fight in Combat 8 and I won by knockout. Then I went and jumped into XFC. Now XFC is like, it was one of the top promotions here in Brisbane, or you could say Australia, XFC, where a lot of the fighters that are in the UFC, they fought on the XFC show.
Yeah,
And I was approached by the promoter and they asked me if I wanted to fight there, and I was like, yeah, no problem. And I'm learning jiu-jitsu at the time. And I ended up fighting a guy named Jay Cobain, who was a veteran of the sport. And obviously, I'm new to the MMA game. Um, and man, the knockout ratio still remained 100% because I put him
yeah,
away. I ended up
yeah.
knocking him out in the second round. Um, and then the Combat 8 title fight came after the XFC. Then that's when I got my blue belt after my XFC when I pulled guard, man, and I got the guillotine and I won, man.
Bloody hell, bro. This is
So
insane. Fucking,
yeah,
bro, like you are a fucking gladiator, brother.
man, I just like to compete. I'm a competitor, man. And I never said no, man. I never said no to fights. I never said no to fights, man. Um, I took some of the hardest fights, man, without hesitation. I wasn't worried about no record. I wasn't worried about, a lot of fighters these days are always worried about keeping that zero there as an undefeated
Yeah,
fighter, right?
yeah,
But back then, because I was struggling in the boxing game, I had to jump into kickboxing. I had to jump into MMA just to keep myself active.
yep.
That's all it was, man. It was just saying active. And my wife, man, was like, man, you are honestly crazy. Like I used to train at like some crazy hours, man. But to just so everybody knows, like uh, the hours that I had to put in, it was like my kids were babies, and as soon as they went to sleep, bang, I was training, and this could be like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. Then I'd get to sleep, and then I have to get up at 5 to go to work, and
Damn,
then
bro.
yeah, and then I'll train in the afternoon. But then again, wait till my kids sleep, and then train, and this was just like the routine,
De-
bro. It was like that, eh?
dedication.
Yeah,
Dedication, bro.
which is why you obviously see videos on TikTok and wherever I post my videos with my son and I, why I'm so hard on him
Yep.
because I'm trying to put into him, and he's now understanding. Which you know you can obviously whoever watches the videos can see, like, he's improved
Oh,
off
and
the
yeah,
charts,
bro, and he's got
which
a
is
hit on him too. Like he's got a hit.
yeah, man.
Like,
Um,
and he's a big boy too, bro. He's a big boy too. Like, bro, like my son is like a big boy too. You know, he's
yeah,
17, and he looks like he's freaking 25. You know,
yeah,
he's
man.
120 kilos. He's a big boy too. But that's what I was going to go into next. So like, I see. like you just said on TikTok, people can see you training with your kids, and not
Hmm.
just your son, not just
And
your
my
son
daughter.
as well, and your daughter. And
Yeah.
I think that it's important we talk about that because, like, it's very important that people understand that no matter what things you have been through in your life, that there's always a way out, right? And you know, Dane spoke about his struggle from like the hardest streets. Like we're talking about South Auckland, Liverpool, Sydney, like fucking hard streets, people. And, spoke about he ended up in prison. And respectfully, we didn't go into that. But he spoke about, I asked him this question, which, gave an answer that nearly fucking brought me to tears, if I'm honest. But,
Yeah, man.
the turning point. And I thought that that's very important, bro. And you can see like that, you have always been a family man. Obviously, your father has instilled in you that family spirit, and you can see that. And that's why I think it's important that this is what we talk about now, because I see it on your videos, bro, that you're very, very proud father, and just like you said then, like people say, oh, you're being difficult on your son, but you're not, bro. It's people don't understand the mentality of the fighting and the mentality of, being
What it
let's
takes to be great.
what that's right. I'll let you explain it, bro.
Yeah. People don't understand what it takes to be great. People don't understand because they haven't been in my shoes, man. People
Yep,
haven't been in the shoes of somebody who was at the pinnacle of a sport,
yep.
and
At
how
every
my
level.
at every level, yeah, at every level. And the way my dad raised me, man, it was my dad had a vision. My dad had a vision, man, which is why I said when I went to jail, man, it was such a disappointment. Like I was a disappointment.
Yep,
I was embarrassed. Like I said, but my dad always had this vision that, I was going to be something special, with my hands, whether it be rugby, boxing, whatever sport.
yep.
And this was due to the way he raised me, man, and I only understood that, like I said, as you become a dad yourself, you understand more as to why your parents
They
were like that,
Yes, that's right. And you
Yeah,
see,
and
it's
then
a,
you
it's
can respect it more. You can respect it more.
yes,
You can
bro.
you can
Yes,
respect it more. I respect my dad so much, man. And very grateful for how he raised me in the sense of training, the discipline.
yep.
Um,
Was your
you
dad a
know,
fighter? Was
No,
your dad?
you know what, man? My dad, like all Samoan dads and uncles, they always say, back in Samoa, we used to box. And if I was to say it like in Samoan, they would say, asula, like,
Yeah,
so whoever Samoan would understand what I just said, like, asula, like back in the day. Then they sit there and tell you a story. So I don't think my dad was a fighter, man, but my dad was more of just wanting uh, to get me to achieve the best that I could.
yep,
And man, that was hours and hours on end. I remember, man, back in when I was, playing rugby in New Zealand, and this is a fun memory, man. This is a memory that I'll always have. There was this one time I'm kicking the rugby ball. My dad would be on the other side of the post, and as I'm kicking the ball, I'm missing, I'm missing, I'm missing, I'm missing. I think I kicked that ball about 1,000 times, man. And then finally I got one over. And I remember that moment there where I was like, man, like it was a celebration. Like, and this is
yep.
when I was like, I think I was in like seven or 8 years old. Back then. But I'll never forget that day, man. And how can I say it, man? I'm gonna try not to like. But man, you know what? I just wanna. I wish I had the um. I wish I had more time with my dad. Like I spend
Yeah.
more time with him and stuff like that. There's a little bit of regret there, you know. But at the
Well,
end of
your
the
dad,
day,
your dad would be proud of you, brother.
yeah, like, and there was one night on TikTok here where I was live. And somebody asked me a question, and this question was, man, this question, honestly, I couldn't, I wasn't able to speak for about 15 minutes, man. The question was, what was something I would have asked my dad? What? It was a question like, um, a question that I didn't ask my dad.
But if you had the
And
chance
but if I
to
had the
ask,
chance to ask him, what would it
okay,
be, right?
okay, yep, yep,
So, and I sat back, man, because I didn't answer this question. I couldn't answer the question. I had about 200 people in there, like just waiting for me to answer. Like, obviously the support, there was a lot of support in the comments and stuff, but it took so long for me to ask, to answer this question. And the question was, I would have asked my dad if he was proud.
yep, yep.
That question there. And like,
You know that answer would be yes, brother.
yeah, 100%. But like, is the question like, I didn't ask my dad, you know?
Yeah, yep. But like, I think
Yeah,
we all believe in certain things, and I believe that you know sometimes that the strength that you have to be where you are and be at the pinnacle you are in fighting, and still today, like
yeah,
you're about to like go into this new sport that's like the next level of fighting. And let me tell you that, like, I'm a father, you're a father. I can tell, right? You are the humblest person that I have spoken to in I don't even know how long, my bro.
thanks,
And
man.
but like, but bro, like, I know it's hard, and that would have been, I can see why that's a hard question, because when you talk about your father, you can say, like, you hold your father up on a pedestal, like way up here.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And I thought,
Um,
when I answered that question, when I finally had the courage to answer it, obviously I had a bit of a cry. And I thought, even now, like, it still hits me, even just to say, like, asking my dad if he was proud, like, I never got the opportunity to ask my dad that, but I know deep down inside, like, when I gave my dad my Australian top, when I gave my dad my first uniform, my Australian uniform arrives, bang, I get my kit, I go to my dad, I said, here, dad, I gave him my t-shirt, um, and the hat. I gave
nice,
him the hat.
bro.
Yeah, man. And that was like me saying, it's just a t-shirt and a hat. Yeah, but it was like a not a peace offering, but a thankful gift. Like,
Yeah, like, look
you
what I've
know,
done. Look what
yeah,
I've
like, yeah, thank you, dad.
just thank you, Dad. Yep.
Yeah, and man, yeah, fuck. I don't even know if I'm like, if my stories are getting, like, I'm bouncing up and down from different story to story, man. But
No,
it
no, you're
when
actually
something
not.
pops
You're
into,
actually
oh,
not,
really?
bro. No,
Oh,
you're
okay,
not,
cool.
bro. You actually. I know. At the moment, it feels like it because emotions are involved. But I promise you, bro, like, you're not bouncing all over the shop. But
Okay.
yeah. Once again, bro, there is absolutely no judgment here, bro. And like, this is a place where you can just be yourself, brother, and respectfully, like, just like, yeah, there's never any judgment from me, bro. Like, and I myself, like, you know, someone asked me a question on live the other day, and I actually teared up myself, and so we it happens. We're only human, bro. At the end of the day, as much as we'd like to believe we're rocks, we are
Yeah.
only human. We are only human. But bro, just let me. But like, going back to your dad, bro, like
Yeah.
the pride there. Um, you know, that's and I know it's a massive subject for you, so I just need to say this, bro, that like that everything you're doing, everything, bro, changing your life. You know what I mean? You said to yourself, your father was the turning point. He told you he loved you for the first time, which said you nearly knocked
Yeah.
you off your feet, and was kind of like changed the way things were. But like, yeah, bro, your father would be so proud of everything that you've done. Like, and let's like put all of the your championships and fighting all around the world in multiple different martial arts. You're a father, bro, and you're a good
Yeah.
father, and that's something that fathers are proud of because I know that like you know what I mean, and that's something that like you should feel very humble about, bro, because like it is very. I've actually seen videos. As a matter of fact, I watched a video the other day of somebody saying they watched one of your videos, and because of you rolling around on the ground teaching your girl jiu-jitsu and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Now this guy, I'm not going to say his name, but you know what I'm talking about. Now he's gonna start teaching his daughter how to
Oh,
do that.
yeah, 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 yeah. So
Um,
that's,
s-
you know how that makes me feel? Like,
yeah,
man, like, I feel like I've accomplished something there, you know, like,
oh,
because,
definitely, bro. You're making an impact, bro.
yeah, that's what it is. The impact, the impact, impact.
I promise you are, bro. I promise you are. And like, when I watched that the other day, and like, usually, right. So when I usually do a little bit of research for interviews and stuff like that, um, bro, I was actually mind blown, bro, because like you've got so many accomplishments in your life that everyone needs to know about, bro. And like this is exactly why. And like, sorry for taking the stage for a little bit here, bro, but I'm only saying it from a father to a father, bro, that all of your accomplishments, bro, would make any father so proud, bro. So sitting there being the father you are today, bro, just for that, and let's put everything else aside and the man that you are today is something that not only your father would be proud of, but I know that you would be proud of. And it's bro, you ooze this energy, bro, which is like um very, very humbling, bro, to talk to. I don't know how to explain it, but like you are very humble and talking to you earlier on the phone before and like bro, the way that you've opened up in this interview, you know what I mean? And brother, you are all round fucking gentleman, and yeah, bro,
Thank you, man.
you've lived a life that anyone should be proud of, and yeah, without a doubt, bro. Like I know that your kids are proud. I can see it in the videos, bro. Like um your son standing next to you, mind you, your son's standing taller than you these days.
Yeah.
Um, But bro, it's very proud. So if like I know sometimes social media and stuff like that, but like with your kids and stuff, and you spoke about things that if you could have asked your dad and whatnot. Now
Yep.
I know with myself with the way I was brought up, housing commission and like
Yeah.
different, like I know that. Yeah, but like, I guess what I'm getting at it, bro, is like that. It's just everything that you've done is just insane, bro, and like, just straight up, like I said, all of them aside, but your family accomplishments is insane, bro, and you can see how proud you are of your children and your wife, and you can see how proud they are of you, bro. And I think it's very important that we have a chat about that, and obviously, like, we don't need to know particulars, bro, but it's a big part of your life, and
Yeah.
you make it public on TikTok for everyone to see, and so that's why I thought this is
Yeah,
the
man.
time, bro. I want to know about your family, bro, and what makes
Yeah.
you that proud man.
Man, like my son was born, and when he was born, my son he was premature. My son was premature. Um, and he died at birth, right?
Oh,
Yeah, so he ended up in the incubator and all that, he needed some machines to help him breathe. He was in the
yep,
hospital for a bit. But I not too much of my son. I don't really speak about my daughters too much, apart from
yep,
Wombat. Like obviously everyone knows Wombat.
yep,
Wombat's like my youngest. And then my daughter Kay. So Cadence is my second daughter, my second eldest child.
yep,
Um, and then my wife, and then I got my wife. And with the whole thing, my wife and my children, right? My sporting career, that was making the Australian team was the highlight of my sporting career. but the highlight of my life is my family.
Yep.
100%. There's absolutely no question about that. The highlight of my life is my family, my wife and my kids.
Yep.
Um,
It's quite evident too, my brother.
yeah, and I'm glad you say that because, and if you see it, then I'm sure other people would see it too,
Oh,
and
bro. Yeah. Bro. You're an amazing father, brother, and like people always seem to have something to say about people like mine and yourself that's had a somewhat different past than them. And some people have got it stuck in their minds that once that way, always that way, and it couldn't be
yeah,
any further from the truth, and
that's right.
um, you know, yeah. So your
That's
family,
right.
bro. I just you're proud of it. So like, I thought we'd go into this, and
Yeah,
I think you're teaching your kids martial arts at the moment,
yeah, and
and,
sports, just sports in general,
and
man, just to be fit.
yep, yep. And
Um,
that's awesome, bro. That's awesome. It's like, cause like we said, it's a little bit different these days. It's so easy for a kids to stay on the PC or the Xbox or whatever. You
yeah,
know what I mean? But
yeah.
it's quite evident that in your house, bro, that everyone's living the outside lovely life, and it's
You
awesome,
know,
brother.
my son is my best mate. There's no question about that. Obviously I do have a best mate. Alex, he's easy, my best mate. Of course, that's outside,
Yeah,
but I'm talking my son.
yeah,
Now, as a dad, my son is 15 years old, right? You know how cool it is when I'm about to leave home, he wants to come for a ride with me?
yeah, bro.
Like, do you know how
Yep,
cool that is? Like, people, I
yeah,
don't think people understand just how cool that is. Like, I'm like,
yep,
yeah, man, jump, let's go, man.
yep,
So, him wanting to always come with me wherever I go, man. You'll see me, you'll see my son with me, man, all the time, and that's because he
yeah,
wants to be with me, man. And
yep. That's
um,
awesome. That's awesome, brother.
you know what I mean? Like, people don't see that. People don't really, really see that. Like,
Yep,
obviously, you only see what I post. You only see obviously,
yep,
what I post, of course.
yep,
But if we're going into depth, right? My son's always with me, man. My daughter Wombat, she's always with me. Like, they hang off me, man. My kids, man. Like,
yeah, yep,
and that's man. Honestly, there's no better feeling, man. Put everything to the side. Like, I disregard everything that we just spoken about, like championships and belts and titles and accomplishments in sports.
yep.
Nothing beats that feeling of
Oh,
my children wanting to hang out with me, man. Like,
yep. It's very
um,
humbling, isn't it? When your
yeah,
kids
man.
kids get
Oh,
to that age and you feel like, you know what I mean? Like my
yeah,
boys, I've
yeah,
got boys as well, and when they got to the teenage age, like you're right, like it's the connection, and it's like I know exactly what you're talking about because some kids don't want to go with their dads.
yeah,
It's embarrassing, bro. But when your kids want to come with you, bro, it's awesome, brother. And like, yeah, bro, you can see how proud you are of your family, Dane, and that's fucking awesome, bro.
yeah, man. Like, I can't. I speak all the time. Every time I speak or every time I talk about something, I always have to mention my children. Like, and of course my wife, of course. But I'm saying, like, with our children, my wife and I, like, man, we couldn't have we couldn't ask for better children, man. We've been blessed. We have been blessed with children who are
Yeah,
obedient, and respectful. And
mm,
man, that's just something that I can sort of sit back and be like, you know what, yeah, give myself a pat on the back.
yep, definitely,
Um,
bro.
as silly as that sounds, but man, it's it's clear as day. You can obviously see, and as you say, my
Bro, it's
children,
very,
man, are everything to me, man. So, uh,
bro, bro, come and believe me when I say it oozes out of you, bro, it does. And so, guys, I will be chucking like I will be chucking all of Dane's social media handles in the description of this, so you can jump over there. We'll get him to what's your TikTok handle, brother?
it's just my name, man. It's just
So
my name, man. You'll see it. There's about 28. I think I've got like 28,000 followers.
big
It's
name
pretty
up
cool.
there. Yep, bloody oath. So yeah, but I will put a link in this. But
Yeah, man.
I I So I guess like I spoke to you before, bro. Like you done something else that like like I said, bro. It just continued when I was like researching, bro. To I spoke to you before, and I never ever want to come across as a person to like sneak questions in to find, info or
Yeah,
anything like that. So like, but I promise you, brother, like I was generally continually amazed at the information that I fucking found out about you. So let's go. I'm just gonna like so in 2014, so if
yeah,
you guys remember, right? So back in 2000, back around 2014, we lost a couple of young men, um, all around Australia, really, but it was very big in New South Wales, and I'm talking about the one punch um, thing. So in 2014, Dane put his name on the line and called for tougher penalties for one punch, um, coward punches, let's say. And
yeah.
bro, I just like, yeah, like I said, I was continuing. Can we go into a little bit of that and why you felt that that was important? Because I think it's important to know why you felt why that was important to put your name on the line and say we need to do something about this.
Because I have children, because I've got cousins, because I've got brothers, and it would have been wrong if I didn't say anything.
Yep.
I felt like it was a responsible thing for me to do.
Yep.
Um, Obviously, if I was on the news, if they did an interview, I would have been straight on it. Like, we need harsher penalties, especially like if we want to go into that, like we're talking about youth crime and stuff like that, man. We need the penalties to go up to a
Way
point
up, bro.
where, yeah, it needs to go up to a point where it's gonna, instill fear into them, to
Exactly.
stop.
Yes, bro.
Um, and now with the coward punch, I knew somebody who was hit like that, you
No.
know,
Yep.
and very, very fortunate for him, he wasn't, he didn't receive, severe damage or anything like that,
Yep.
but he was still hit, and there was always obviously like that chance that he could have landed the wrong way, that could have, and so on.
Yep.
Uh, and because at the time I was a known figure in the fight game, I knew that me saying something, it was always going to attract other people to jump on board.
100%. Yep.
And I would hate to be a person who's had a family member become a victim of
Yeah.
such a cowardly act.
Yep. And
Um,
it is. It's a coward's act. That's all it
yeah,
is. Yep.
it's a coward's act, and
Yep.
I still think that you know the government really hasn't done their job, uh, in the sense of
Oh,
making
definitely.
penalties, like a mandatory. There should be some sort of mandatory sentence for that,
I think so.
especially if there's a debt. Especially if there's a debt.
If this is what I believe, especially with the youth crime, right? If youth are doing adult crimes, like legitimately maiming people in their own houses and stuff like that, ripping ladies out of cars and
Yeah,
horror, like full on crimes, yeah? So, and then they get bailed 10 minutes later, like
yeah,
it's a joke. This is what needs to happen. Exactly what you said, right? Because I've seen it. When a young boy comes to a man's prison, that's either going to make that or like the saying, prison either
yeah,
makes you or breaks you, right? And so what I have seen is like when young men, that's a turning point, right? They're either going to get involved in the politics or they're going to change their life. Do you know what I mean? Because it scares the fucking shit out of them when they see old mate over there getting maimed by three people with swords in their hands and like, it's a real deal. I think
yeah.
we need to have penalties that scare the shit out of these kids, like you said. And I think that, like, bro, I don't wish prison upon my worst enemy. I don't, and to be honest, there's only one. group of people that I think deserve to be in prison, and you would agree, and they're the offenders. I will just say,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
they are where they need to be, you know. But like, I don't wish prison upon my worst enemy. But the truth is, some people need to fucking be there, bro, because
I do.
like, well, well, do you not do I don't
uh,
even. No, you definitely don't, bro. But do you know what I mean? Like, what do you think? Like machete bins, all this bullshit. Like, what? Come on, what can we do? Like, as you know, I see myself. You know, people listen to us. You've got
yeah,
tens of thousands of followers that obviously like your message, brother. So,
yep,
is there something we can do, bro? What can we do to unite powers, so to speak, to bring this to the forefront? That because like I've actually spoken to somebody else about this, and it's like exactly like you said, it's not the same. When I grew up, there was a boxing club on every single second corner. There was a youth
yeah,
club on the other corner. Like, what can we
yeah.
do? What do you think we need to do to change this problem?
So I think that there should be more facilities available for the youth. I think that there should be more mentors. There should be, obviously the older generation given jobs. Like myself, especially myself. Like, look, I'm going to use myself as an example. I
Mm-hmm.
can't get a blue card.
Same, bro.
I can't get a yellow card.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's due to the violent offenses,
Same here.
and I've
SVR.
tried and tried submissions, everything, man. I've tried so many things to get it, and which I haven't been able to attain, and which is unfortunate because I know that I have a lot to offer,
It's so
as
sad,
well as
isn't it,
yourself,
bro? Yep.
Um, but going on to the youth need obviously these facilities that allow them to go into the to a community
Direction.
center. Yeah, and then what will happen there is they will bump into people there where they're gonna have guidance. They'll
Yes,
get
bro.
guidance. They'll have proper guidance, and then from there, I think education will take over, and therefore, once their time has been occupied, they're gonna have no time to muck around. You know,
100%.
keeping them busy.
Do do you agree? Do you agree that so people ask me all the time, right? So a s- I've got a 3-year-old daughter. I've got a 17-year-old son, a 20-year-old son, and a 22-year-old son.
Oh
And I've got two granddaughters as well. Very, very proud grandfather I am.
man,
Um
nice,
I
mashallah,
was
bro.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Shukran. So I became a grandfather at 35, you know what I mean? Sorry, I lost my train of thought then. Where was I going with
No,
that before?
you're talking about your kids, and your kids have kids. You
That's
said you
right,
got yeah.
correct. So, is it true? Do you believe it definitely starts in the house, in the home? If you ask me, right? So, your kids aren't going around there, going around doing, you said your son's 15 years old, right? And so,
Mhm.
like, I believe, this is what I honestly believe, because my father instilled a different kind of respect in me than what children have today. And I know that you are on the exact same ballpark as me. So I believe that these problems start at home. And I think that a lot of these problems can be tackled before it ends out of the home. And my exact example of how this is, my kids aren't going around there and getting in trouble. Your kids aren't going around there and getting in trouble, and that's because they are taught this thing called respect.
Yeah.
And I believe that this is a thing that's like not instilled. There's a lot of like families, kids have kids these days, do you know what I mean? And then very soon them families are broken up, they've got separated parents, all this bullshit. And like I just think that like I honestly believe that most of these problems can be tackled before that kid walks out the front door.
I 100% agree. I agree 100%, and I'll point the finger to the parents.
Yeah.
I blame
Okay.
the parents. I blame the parents. I don't care what anybody says. I blame the
Yep.
parents, because if the parents have control at home, now this is where the ball gets thrown up, right? the government and today's society has taken away the powers from the parents to discipline their children. Now, that's an issue. So
Yep,
what what
100%.
what what are parents supposed to do then?
Exactly, exactly.
So then who, okay, then, so if I'm blaming the parents, now then the parents say that to me, then who do we blame? We blame the government.
And then that's
We blame the
exactly right.
authorities.
It's what it comes back to every time
Yeah,
with this scenario in the youth, every time.
that's right. And I think that when you're talking about problems, when you're talking about, you know, eliminating the issue before it becomes a problem, right? At home, it's getting your kids involved in sports, getting your kids involved, being actually, wait, all parents out there need to be involved with their children.
Present. Yep.
Yeah, so present, whether it's taking them to sport, whether it's reading books with them, whether it's, doing cookie stuff like being there with your children. Um, and a lot of the times, and I'm not going to point the finger, but a lot of times the people are always on their phone.
Yeah,
People
bro.
just, and
Yep.
oh, here, give the iPad or, here, do this, do this, do this, whatever. And then
Yep.
you're on the phone yourself, just doing this yourself. And then it's like, oh, you've
Yep.
just wasted all those hours.
And the whole family does it. It's a very, very common thing now. Like you see people
Yeah.
now, like if you go out for lunch or you go out for dinner, it's
Yeah,
just
man.
so funny to sit there and watch the whole like taking photos of their meals and on the it's like
Yeah.
what the hell? It's a different world.
It's real addictive. Like, you know, social media, technology, just let's just say technology, right?
Yep.
But I think, there has to be a reward system put in place where, children have to earn it. Children have to earn it. My kids, and I'll speak on my kids, right? I'm not going to talk
Yep.
about anybody else's children. I'll talk about my kids.
Yep.
My kids have to earn it. As you see on TikTok with my videos on how I show my son, how I, you know, when I'm training, and then dad, they're two different people. But
Yes,
dad,
bro.
dad still has the authority from the coach. The coach and
Yep.
the dad still the same, right? They still wear the same shoes. So
Yes.
when I'm speaking to my girls, when I'm speaking to my son, obviously it's a little different. There's ways of
Yes.
communication and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes, bro. It's different with your daughters than it is with your sons. Yeah.
yeah, but
It's the
without sorry,
it's the same, but it's the same but different. Go on, sorry,
it's
bro.
no, just so I don't sound silly here, and I don't mix up my words. Their children need to earn what they enjoy doing. You can't
Yeah.
just allow them to get what they want, because then they turn into spoiled children. And then what happens there is you have these kids that become resentful because you're not giving them what they want.
Yes. Yep.
And it starts from a young age. It starts from a young age. Now you got mom's voice and you got dad's voice. Mom's voice is scary too. Like, but as soon as dad says something, bang, everyone's quiet.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
an automatic, like everyone's quiet, like bedtime is bedtime,
Yep.
game time is game time, and so on, right?
It's
This
a
is
respect thing.
it's a respecting that, and this is how it should be in all households,
I
you know.
agree.
And this is what you're talking about. If we eliminate the situation inside the house, there won't be a problem outside of the house. And everything that you were saying before, I 100% agree, man.
Yeah.
But as a community, I think that we can only do so much because the government just always finds a
Instead of
way to stuff
tightening.
it up, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
like suffocates us.
Yes, bro. And bro, we are so much on the same level here. I agree.
Yeah,
The reward system is what needs to be had. Like when I was a kid, if you like say for instance, right, I wanted a motorbike when I was a kid.
yep,
Now that wasn't going to happen like the next day. I had to work my ass off for nearly 3 years to get that motorbike, and that was what taught me the kind of respect that I have now. And I think that not having to go at any other parents, but like I believe that you know, and obviously you do too, that like this whole youth crime problem can be tackled before they walk out the door. Let's use the knife situation, right? All it takes is this. Give me a look in your bag, give me a look in your pocket, right? Now, what people don't understand is this. I've been stabbed 7 times, right? And I am lucky to be here to tell my story. I've got, I've been stabbed in my carotid artery, been stabbed right in the heart, straight through my spleen. I shouldn't be here, okay? And what people don't understand is I know that it's hard for kids these days. They want to take a knife with them because why? Because every other kid out there's got a knife. But here's the truth, the absolute truth, and you know this is fact, Dane. So if you're in a situation, say you're by yourself, you've got a knife on you, you get approached by 5 blokes, and they say, righto, kick your shoes over, kick your bag over, kid. You pull that knife out, right? So then what you've just done is produced a weapon that you can almost guarantee that those other 5 have then got their own on them as well. Otherwise, they wouldn't be coming to rob you with no weapons, you know? And so what happens is every time you leave the house with that knife, it's actually like it increases your chance of getting stabbed by 10 or something like that. So and what people don't understand is that simple having that in your pocket and you think that you're going to use it for self-defense is more than 60% of the times why people get attacked with a knife is because they pulled it out first because they were scared, and then people get attacked. So, like, my point is, like, I think we need to instill things like, I was thinking about making a fucking t-shirt and even wearing it on my channel saying, like, save a life, leave a knife. Something, make it catchy. I don't know. Kids are funny these days. They like memes and shit like that. But, like, you know, I think that's important too. Like checking your kids before they go. Do they have weapons on them? You know what I mean? Like have that authority over your children to know when they walk out the door. Are they fucking going to have a sword fight or are they going to the movies?
It comes down to communication. It comes down to how you are with your children. Because a lot of times, children will always hide things from you if you don't have a strong relationship with your kids, man.
Yep.
And I find that for myself, I'm very blessed that my children speak to me. My children open up to me, man. And I'm probably one of the lucky parents out there who have children that are like that. But
Yep.
it also comes down from how I have raised my children, which has allowed them to feel comfortable to talk to me. Whether they're getting bullied, whether something's happening, whatever it may be, whatever, man. But they're comfortable in talking to
Yep.
me.
Yep.
Now, if we want to really tackle crime, let's put away the shirt for a sec. I think that the government need to really, really look at the problem and how to tackle that problem is, and what I think, there needs to be camps. There need to be camps where it puts these kids who are violent in
Like a boot camp.
like a boot camp, man. Like they need to be
Yep.
chucked into something where
I, I
they're
agree.
going to be mentally tested
Yep.
and physically tested, where all that energy, all that negative energy and the hurt, the hate, and all that kind of stuff just comes out, man, and released. And then I
Yep.
think that after a period of time in the camp, they must uh it's like getting a degree, a qualification.
Yep.
Instead of sending these kids to uh the youth detention centers or
Yep.
what jail, like youth jails and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
That's not doing anything apart from letting them
Stepping
uh
stone.
yeah, it's like, oh man, I just earned a stripe, man, like
Yep.
let's get another one and carry on. But I
Yep.
think that the government need to do more um with that. We can only do so much as dads. We can only do so much as a community, because I'm sure it's not just us two men, but a lot of people will be falling under the same umbrella as us.
Yeah. Yep. We've had
We
enough.
can we we can only do so much. We can only do so much, man. And
Yep.
and God willing, man, that none of our children ever become victims, man.
Yep.
And so on, and we can just continue to steer them in the right way, man. And hopefully, other kids, you know, I don't even, I honestly, I don't know what to say here, man. I just hope that it
No,
stops. I hope that, um, look, the police do their job. The police do their job, man. The police, obviously, there are some times where they don't, but most of the time they do. But guess who lets us down? It's the courts.
yeah, I agree, brother. I agree 100%.
Right? The police would get fed up, mate. They'll arrest this kid, take him in, he gets
Yep,
bail, or then they arrest him again,
yep.
literally a day or two done later, and then he goes in, gets bail, and
Back
it just
straight out.
continues. It's like in and out.
Yep.
It's like, oh
Bro, it's funny you say that. I actually said this on one of my videos. I said it's people are saying it's the police. It's not. The police
yeah,
aren't giving them bail. They're saying no bail. They're
yeah,
going to
man,
the court. They're going to the court, and the courts are giving them bail.
yeah. The courts are not. The court isn't helping. They're not helping the police. So,
No,
what then would the police do? They just shrug their shoulders, like,
yeah,
oh,
that's right. And look, I believe, look, and once again, like I believe that the police are probably overworked, but I think that there's probably more that can be done on a whole. But how? What I mean, what do they do? Like I think if like let's just use this Desi Freeman shit as an example and how much money and time and people they've put into that. Can
yeah,
you imagine? So it's costing $1 million per day. It's like tens of millions of dollars they've spent, right? If they put that tens of millions of dollars into like, it's funny you say about the boot camps because there is talk of the last couple of weeks in the parliament about maybe doing these boot camps. Now, it's always just hogwash and nothing ever comes to fruition.
yeah. Of
But
course,
yeah, but like, I don't know, bro. Like, I just think that even though, yeah, they might be overworked and whatever, but if more cops are paroled in these streets and there's more presence of police or be, I don't know, it's just like, it seems like to me, I don't live in the suburbs. I live in the country, but like every time I go to Melbourne, like
yeah,
I know what I see around and I know that like there's no cops to be seen on the back streets at 2 o'clock in the morning. Like,
yeah,
you
man.
know,
I live in Redbank, man. Redbank is a suburb in Ipswich. It's
oh, no
the
way.
crime rate is the
I know
crime rate is
exactly where
high.
that is.
Yeah, crime rate is high here. Youth crime is off the charts here at Redbank. Um, Obviously you see it on Redbank community pages where children are outside people's houses, ready to do a home invasion.
Yep,
The kids are outside. Kids, like we're talking kids as young as maybe 11, 12 years old, man.
yep,
And when you talk about police on patrol, like this is like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, and there's absolutely nothing.
yep.
Now, and the response from the police obviously is not scaring these kids, man. These kids will just continue to do it.
Yep.
I saw a clip where all the spotlights had gone on, cameras everywhere, and these kids were still trying to break into the cars.
Yeah,
Like
they
the
do
lights,
not care.
they do not care, man. Like,
No, man. And that's the thing. Like, what do we do? Like, all right, cameras are like a deterrent. It's evidence if your car gets stolen and stuff like that. But
yeah,
these kids do not care. They just don't care. And like, I don't know, bro. And you know yourself, like kids when I was like there was one in 10 kids that was doing silly shit like that when I was younger.
man, it was
It's
very
a
rare, very rare.
Yeah, yeah, bro. And now it's like, I don't know what it is, bro. They're seeing 13-year-old kids doing armed
Yeah,
robberies on tobacco shops.
yeah,
Like,
man.
what the hell?
So a lot of comments that I do read on there is that they want to bring in castle law, right?
Hmm.
Now, I can almost certain guarantee that majority of the people that say castle law would freeze in the situation, in a real life situation, they would freeze. Why? They've never been in that
E-
situation before.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
And a lot of the people that would say, no, I'm not gonna, I'm saying a lot of the people, not everyone, because there's a lot of people like, like us, obviously have
How
been
does it
in
affect?
situations and
How does it
so on.
affect us though? How does it affect us? What if someone breaks into our house with us, our ominous VO?
Yep.
That's what we call it in Victoria. So like, what do we do? Like, this castle law can't apply to me. Like,
And
like, you dub me a serious violent offender, but like, and then you say I'm allowed to bash someone if they come in my house. Sure, we're gonna go to jail every single time, bro.
Yeah, that's why it's look. There's no question as to what obviously, like I always like to answer for me, right?
Yep,
There's
of course.
obviously there's absolutely um no question as to what would happen here. Like if someone was to try and break into my house, man,
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, safety of my family is always first. I
yep,
don't care how old you are. It's not a, you know,
yep.
it's
It's not up for
obvious,
debate.
it's
Yep.
not up for debate. No way in the world.
Yeah, bro.
Um, but then the consequence of the action, right? It's not going to be in the mind until later.
That's right.
So I don't understand. Like maybe the government people need their houses broken into. Maybe they need to feel what it's like. Then they might come out with a different solution
I think
or
so.
different answers. Maybe maybe they should experience what it's like to feel threatened. Maybe they should feel like what it's like. Maybe they should feel like maybe everything
Feel like,
that I'm saying.
yeah,
Just feel what we have to go through every day on a daily basis.
yep,
Then their whole demeanor, their whole attitude towards youth crime will change.
yeah,
That's what I think.
definitely. Yep,
100%. There's no
yep.
question about that.
Yeah, but this will never happen. They all live in their gated
Of course.
communities, and like, it's sad because, we both realize that something like that is what needs to take place for stuff to happen. Do you know what
Yeah,
I
of course.
mean?
Of course. It's there's no
It's
question about it. Like
it's bullshit too because you know what I mean. They don't give a shit about anyone that lives in the housing commission areas. Like they're the worst broken in areas. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, man.
these kids are silly these days. They all piss in their own backyard and break into their next door neighbors' houses and shit, and just do
Yeah. Yeah.
silly things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
and just one more thing on that. Like I wanted to say with the youth crime and with the way the government is dealing with it, right? Anytime there's sort of even a mention in Parliament, guess what's on? Voting's nearly up.
yes,
That's
every
the only
time.
time. It's the only time they talk about it is when it's time to vote. Oh, we better start talking about youth crime. We better start talking about what we're going to do. And then as soon as they get the chair, they they do
Nothing
the complete
happens.
opposite.
Yeah, nothing happens. Yeah, bro.
Uh,
What I mean,
what a coincidence, eh? They're talking
yeah,
about it now.
yes, bro, and nothing ever gets done. And I think like let's have a just quick chat about these machete bins. Like
Oh yeah,
they're glorified St. Vincent's de Paul bins. That's what they are. And like they cost $360,000 per bin. Like I've stuck a camera in one. A few other YouTubers have stuck a camera in one to see how many machetes are in there, and there ain't many.
zero.
Yeah, two in one and one in the other, and like they place him right out the front of a police station. Like they say, this is like all no bullshit will happen. I'll tell you exactly what will happen. The kid will drop that machete off. The cops are watching him, following exactly. Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like
yeah.
no, what kid in their right mind's going to walk up to a police station on their way to an aggravated burglary and say, "Hey boys, let's just pull the car over here and we'll all drop off our machetes here in the bin, and then we'll continue on to our aggravated burglary."
Okay, let's not talk. Let's not worry about machetes. How about the gun laws? They took the guns away, but how come there's still shootings every day?
Every day.
Every day, every day.
More,
Suburban, and there's
more,
shootings all the time.
more than there ever was in the 90s when they stopped it.
Yeah, that's right. Like people are more brazen. It's all daylight. It's like
Yeah, bro, it's
people just
crazy now.
casually walking around, and next thing you know, they're on the news. Like it's very scary. Put it that way. It's very scary to think you know that that's still happening.
I
Um,
think so too. Like, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it's almost like they definitely allow it to happen because it cleans the streets for them, I believe. Do you know what I
yeah, but
mean? Like,
how about the innocent people though? Like that they end up in the crossfire. That's
yeah, very common every day now, isn't it?
yeah, it's super common. Like you
Yeah,
know, just
and
law
roof
abiding citizens, man. Just doing their
Yeah.
thing, and next thing you know, they get hit. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, bro. Things have changed, haven't they? Really, really changed, bro.
It's so bad. It's so bad, and it's super scary, man. Us as dads, especially for me, man, as a dad, for my youngsters, man, they're gonna grow up into a society which is very upside down. Um,
Yeah, bro.
and I'm not going to go into that because that conversation is very, it can cause a lot of headaches, and it's very debatable. However, I'm just going to say that the society today is very upside down. And I do worry about my children. I worry about your children. I worry about everyone's children that are going to grow up
Yeah.
into it. So
I
it's
I
scary.
definitely agree. Yeah, bro, it is scary, and I think like it's gradually like getting worse and worse too.
Yep.
And like you said, it's not just the knives, it's a gun crime as well, which is worse than it's ever been. And you know, not that we have to go into it, but it's
No,
obviously very very easy for people to acquire these fucking things. And
of course.
like yeah, it's a different world on them streets now. And I'll tell you what, I can say with 100% complete confidence, brother, that when I look at that nightmare, what it is today, I'm so glad that I am out of that fucking world. Um, I spent a lot of time in prison, bike clubs, done all the dumb shit thinking I
Yeah.
was, like you said, I wanted to be the top. I wanted to
Yeah.
be respected as the best fighter. You know what I mean? I wanted to be that. And fucking, I'll tell you what, uh, taking a look back now, and looking forward, like I made some wrong decisions in my life, but that was one of the best decisions I ever friggin' made, mate. It was to
Of
step
course.
away from that.
Of course. And in saying that, uh, with how I was raised, right? The the thing that I learned from my dad was that when I was raised, my dad didn't really have the knowledge of getting me into something. My dad didn't have the knowledge of, um, I'm talking about education, right?
Yep, yep, yep,
So education is very important here at home, as well as sports. Like
yep.
I'm super strict here with education because I call it a fallback. You need a fallback because in
Yep,
sports, injuries happen.
that's
Now,
right. And then
now,
what?
yeah, and then what? So what I've done with my kids
Very
is
smart, bro.
something, yeah, it's something where my dad didn't do for me, where I could have had a qualification, as a sparky, a plumber, whatever it may be.
Yep.
So now I'm doing that with my son. Now he's heading into his 16 next year, inshallah, man, and he knows very well that education is super important, and I've made sure that I need to have him understand that the fallback is important because he got injured once. He was injured,
Yep.
and then he was out for a bit, but he had this mindset of invincibility, right? And then I was like, now look, now can you walk? He's like, nah, like my knee's sore, and he was out for a bit. Said, this is the reason why I'm saying you need to make sure your mathematics, your English is up. Don't fail in those two subjects because those are the two subjects that are key for you, man. And which is why I what would I say? I make my kids read. I read too,
Yep.
man. Like I like to read.
Me too,
You
brother.
know how like being inside, like what's
Yeah,
make you
bro.
read?
Yep.
Read a book,
Yeah,
read a
that's
book,
right.
read a
Just
book.
read a book, read a book,
Just
read a
read.
book. Yep. I actually taught myself
Whatever.
to read. I taught myself to read in prison. I couldn't read before, and I
Yeah,
taught
man.
myself to read. Yeah.
But you know what? I taught myself to enjoy reading.
Oh fuck yeah, bro!
You know what
All
I mean?
books
Because
too. All books
yeah,
too,
any
bro.
any 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 kind of book,
Yeah.
any kind of book.
Someone,
Hey,
someone will give you a book, and it'll be the most random book by an author you've never heard of. But
yeah,
like
man.
you dive straight into every book, don't you?
Yeah, of course. And I do that with my kids, man. I make them
Yeah.
read whatever, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't care
Reading's
what it is.
important.
Read, read,
Brain
read
food.
is the key, man. Reading is
Yep.
key.
100%.
Yeah. So
Yep.
for any other parents that are listening and this stuff like that, man, that's something else I do here at home. It's not just sports, man. I'm gonna make sure that
Education.
yeah, my son gets that education, my girls get that education, and I give them everything that I can, everything that I can. obviously that's what you're supposed to do as a dad, you know.
Absolutely.
Whatever it takes, man, whatever it takes, I will do whatever it takes to make sure that my
They
kids will
succeed.
be, yeah, they succeed, man, because
Yeah.
if they don't succeed, then I feel like I failed as a dad.
Yeah. And you can
That
see, bro, you're trying your guts out here, and it's very, very evident. Like I said before, bro. Yeah, never. I know you don't. You know what I mean. But never doubt yourself as a parent, brother. You're a model father, bro. And you know, the, I'm sorry, but the question that you said you would have asked your father before stuck with me, right?
yeah,
And bro, yes, bro, of course, brother.
yeah, I know. Thanks, man.
And I'll tell you why, right? And this is why, because like it doesn't matter what we spoke about, the way your eyes light up and your face changes when you talk about your father, your wife, your son, your daughter, bro. It's like I told you, bro. Your humbleness oozes out of you, brother. And like, yes, bro, your dad would be so fucking proud of you, bro. And I say that father to father, man to man. Obviously, I never met your father, so but I'm just saying that like your accomplishments here on paper in front of me, what we've spoke about, blew my mind. But here talking to you man to man, Dane, it literally has blown my mind even more, mate.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
You are a fucking inspiration, my friend. Like I honestly mean that with every single fucking part of me that is sinew, like that is mine, bro. Like you are an inspiration to not only your children, your wife, your dad. You are an inspiration to many, bro, and that is why people listen to what you say, Dane. And I'll tell you something, bro. Like there ain't many men that can talk to me and tell me something that nearly brings me to tears. I'll say that straight up to you right now. And you being opening up and showing people that people have like emotions and sometimes us bullfeds were tr- like brought up to be rocks, and we don't have emotions, we don't show emotion, we don't, you know what I mean. And I think it's quite evident, my friend Dane, that you're an inspiration as a father, and like people obviously like to listen to what you've got to say, and you're making waves out there, my friend. And I had other things on here that I wanted to talk about, but we're not even. It's not even important, bro. Because I tell you now, you have literally humbled my day. I've like I told you before, I'm in the middle of moving, so like moving studios, everything like that. But like even talking to you today, bro, has humbled my fucking day, bro. And like I don't know, bro. You like you must look at yourself in the mirror, and that man looking back at you must be a very proud man, because like the way, like I said, the way that you talk about your family, bro, is very, very heartwarming, my brother.
Oh, thank you, man. Because I hold my family here, man. They're always gonna be there.
Yeah. And like
Yeah,
they should, so they should, bro. And you know what? It's respectful, bro. And I guess I've got, we'll wrap it up shortly. But I've
yeah,
only
man.
got just because I'm fucking covered in ink myself. But can we have a chat about your tats, bro? I see you've got some tribal on you there. Can we? Is that
Oh, yeah,
okay? Or you?
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem, man. I got all my normal hair. I got
Yep.
my boxing kangaroo there. Obviously,
Yep.
I'm
S- s-
Samoan.
Salmon. Yep.
Um, and then my daughter, that was my daughter, my baby Kennedy, and that was her butterfly she wanted me to get. And I was like, you know what, I'll get that here. And my mate did that the other day. He fixed the butterfly, and
That's
then
beautiful,
obviously,
bro.
yeah. And then I just got normal my all day, which is my name. And then
Yep.
I had here F the police here,
Yep.
which I covered the same time I got my daughter's name. And
Oh,
the
good.
reason
Good on
the
you. You.
reason for that the reason for that is this. Like, plus, I'm not no gangster, man. I'm a dad. I'm a
Yep.
dad. Full.
Yep.
There's no lie about. There's no question about that.
Yep.
But also, I always felt a sense of embarrassment when I go to my girls' um like what do you call those when they have assemblies? You know, when they got to get an award or something like that. I
Yep.
always felt this bit of embarrassment. So even though it's like 40 degrees outside, I would wear a long sleeve just to cover my arm, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
because
bro.
I
Yep.
because of this, because of
Yep.
the if the police, right? And then Wombat was the one that mentioned that my dad Wombat's my baby Kennedy.
Yeah. Yep.
She said it to me, and I was like, this is now she's what, she's 7 now. Oh no, 6. I think she's 6. Yeah, she's 6.
They grow up so quick, bro. Is
I think she's 6. Yeah, she's 6.
it?
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what, man? I had to ask my wife, like, how do you spell it? And I think like, because
Yeah.
I'm so used to calling her Wombat. Like,
Yeah.
man, I had to triple check. Is this how you spell her name? So, man. But yeah,
So
she said it to me. She said it to me, and then she asked me, because her friends had seen it at school, and I felt embarrassed, man. Like, I was so embarrassed. But
yep.
look, at one stage of my life, it was F the police all day. It was like
Yep.
it was just the way it was, you know. But now, well, I'm long gone. I'm way past that stuff, man.
Yeah, no,
I'm
you
way past that stuff,
definitely
man.
you definitely are, bro. And like I said, bro, you're making waves out there, and I believe that your name will continue to make waves. And I would like to ask you this.
Yep.
I don't know how I would go about it, but I'd like to be there at your fight, bro. To support you.
Oh
Um,
yeah, man.
if there's anything I can do to help, bro. Also, like I'd like to, you know what I mean? Bro, I'm actually like it's insane for me that because I guess you would understand it too. Like this is something that in martial arts Australia, we never thought that this was going to happen. That they were going to okay the bare knuckle, and it's big time, bro. I'd like to if you know we'll speak about it afterwards anyway. But like, bro,
Yeah,
even
man,
just
for sure.
to be there to watch it, and you know, I know that my people would like to get behind you and support that as well, bro. And
I can't
yeah,
believe
just
I can't believe I just took my t-shirt off.
no, that's all. That's all right, bro. That's all right.
Hey, I'm a dad, man. I got the
That
dad bod.
bro. Yeah, 100%. I got the dad bod too. Um,
uh,
but Dane, like, listen, I think we'll wrap it up. But like,
yeah, no worries, man.
I was gonna ask you one more question.
Yep.
And I think it's important, bro. Um, what what is your biggest regret? Like after everything we've been through, and like, you know, we've spoke about some deep things here, Dane, and like, you know, I think this is very important because it's important to know that everyone makes mistakes, right? And like, I think this is the important last question. You know, what was the biggest mistake that you think that you made?
Um,
And I'm not talking about crime. I'm just talking about anything, bro. What was the biggest mistake that you think you made from, you know, childhood to now?
can I give you two answers?
You can
Can I give
give
you
me
two
as
answers?
many answers as you want, brother.
So one, for my career, I didn't seek proper advice, and I wasn't guided properly, which put a stop in my boxing career where I had the ability to achieve a lot more in boxing than
Yep.
than I did.
Yep.
But in life, man, it just goes back to when I went to jail, man, and I disappointed my dad, even
Yep.
though he didn't say it, but I knew. I
You
knew
knew.
that
Yep.
I knew I disappointed my dad, and but I was
Yep.
glad that I was able to flip the script
Oh yeah, you
and
did.
and rewrite the wrong, and
Yep.
achieve what my dad had already had envisioned. Like, he had this vision of me doing that, and
Yep.
I accomplished what he
You did, bro.
started for me. So that's my two answers there, man.
Yep, and that's big. You know what? I actually knew that one one of them was going to be one of them, and then that just goes to show your character, Dane. Like I don't even know what the word is. You're like a humble um machine. So
Oh,
like,
thank you, man. I don't even talk. I never talk about it, man. I don't talk about my fights. Um I don't talk about jail. I don't talk about things
yep,
that I've accomplished, right? It's only
yep,
because you've asked me the questions. I'm answering your questions
yep,
for you, which allows others now to know a little
yep,
bit more about me.
yep.
Um and
That's
you
why
know,
I thought that was more important, Dane, than people.
yeah,
Because, like I said, bro, I do my research and stuff, and I know that people have been asking you to talk about you know
yeah.
certain things, and like that's your choice to not want to talk about that, and I think that that's a solid choice, bro. And like, to me, like, it just proves that, like, because sometimes people come across as glorifying it, and I know that's exactly how you don't want it to sound, and that's probably why you don't do it. But bro,
It's just
it's
not for me,
like
bro. It's just not for me.
it's a testament to your character, brother.
Yeah, because that's my past. Like I don't wanna, and trust me, I've got plenty of stories too, man, but I don't,
Yep,
it was nothing for me to be, I'm not
yep,
trying to ride no train. I ride my own train, man.
yep.
And I
And
tell my own little thing, you know?
I wish I could show you my question list here, because I literally had two questions on there that were about crime, and I didn't even ask one of them, because I just, bro, like, when I
Uh,
started writing down your accomplishments, and listen to this. This is pages turning of your accomplishments, and so, like, I was like, my God, I don't even want to know about none of that stuff myself. I want to know about this guy's accomplishments in his life, and like, my fucking
yeah.
God, bro, it blew my mind. And yeah, I just want to say, from man to man, bro, what you're doing, what you have done, and from where you have come from, bro, it is very, very, very commendable and respectable, brother. And the path that you are on now is like the most righteous path, bro. And like, um, yeah, bro, you're doing everything right. And I see your training with your children, bro, and I can see, like you said, you've got coach and dad, but you've still got dad's dad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a narrative that I think's. I'm closing the book now, Dane, but
Nah, that's all good.
that's a narrative that I think is lost in youth today, and um I think that the way that your social media is, and the way that you show people that you are the way you are unapologetically, is very respectful, bro. And I just want to say, from man to man, from
Thank you.
somebody who's come from a shitty background and turned my life around, and for once in my life, I can say I'm proud of myself. So I know, bro, you are the humblest bloke, and I will say this, right? So most Islanders that I know are literally the humblest people, and like, yeah, bro, just like have the biggest heart, bro. And I am not lying when I say this, bro. Like, you almost brought me to tears before when you were talking about your dad, bro. And I like, bro, just talking about your family in general, bro. And I can see that, and that's why this interview went the way it went, bro, because there was bro, like, yeah, I'm just proud of you as a human, and like, I hope that this could be the building of a friendship, bro. I think you're an absolute legend of a guy, bro, and I think that there's a lot of fathers out there could learn a lot from you, Dane. And I'll shut up now because I have a tendency to go on, but yeah, respectfully, bro, man to man, brother, I really respect what you're doing, bro, and it was a very, very humbling experience to have this chat with you, mate.
Man, thank you very much, man. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. If there's one message that I want to share with everyone, man, is that if you want the world to be a better place, man, you have to be a better person all day,
Wow.
all
Whoa.
day.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's a quote. That's a fucking, I love that, bro. That's very, very good. Well, I'll tell you what, Dane, we'll wrap it up there. And so, Dane, thank you so much for coming on, bro. I actually got so much more than I bargained for here, bro, and you've accomplished so much in your life. And yeah, once again, bro, like, yeah, well
All
done.
good,
Keep
man. No worries at all. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it, bro.
No worries at all. All right, so we'll wrap it up there, and yeah, thank you everyone, and yeah, we'll see you on the next interview. Thank you so
Hey,
much, legends, and yeah, we'll catch you in the next one.
all right, all day, man. See you, bro.